Okay, welcome to Geekfecta, the podcast where we run down our favorite, least favorite examples in a category. We have 3 categories: movies and TV, books and comics, or video or board games. Tonight we'll be turning our decayed heads and pus-filled eyes to zombies. But before we start, let's get to the introductions of everyone here and define what zombies are.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I guess I'll go first. I'm Morph from Geekvice. Zombies, for me, my definition are going to be slow-moving, brain-eating, walking dead. How about that one?
Sounds like my coworkers. All right, so I'm John, also from Geekvice. And my definition of zombies are vampires that don't drink blood. Basically, the dead returned that just feast on us. That's all I got.
Well, I'm Bill from Prolific Games. For me, zombies are pretty much dead that have re-risen. They don't think a whole lot. They just kind of pack mentality of like go for whatever it is you're gonna eat, and they devour the stuff in their way. Whether they run, whether they shamble, doesn't matter to me.
Shamble. That's the word of the day.
There you go.
Can you define that for me?
Lastly, we have
John from Prolific Games, and I was gonna say I didn't prepare for this podcast nearly enough or at all, so I'm going to wing it a little bit. And to me, zombies are all those people in high school who never played role-playing games. I don't know. Does that count?
I'm good with that
Was
one.
that sheep? That might have been sheep. I don't know. I confuse them. So,
gentlemen, where do we want to start tonight? Which category do we want to lead off with?
I've got a lot of stuff in all of them. So you tell me where you want to start.
I think I'd like to start with the written stuff, the books and comics.
Let's do that since I only have one.
There you go. Then we'll make our way to the big ending. I'll go first. For me, the favorite on the book side, it's a book called Feed. It was written by Mira Grant. In this world, zombieism was created because for the common cold. And they released one airborne, and they injected people with the other one, or put it in water. I don't remember exactly what it was. But when they met, they created this thing that was super aggressive to take care of cancer and beat the common cold. So like when the person died, the like vaccine inside them keeps them going. The interesting part about it is some of the people that got infected would have stuff that kind of changed, like their eyes would turn like zombie-like. But they didn't get the full zombieism stuff. And so, like, in this world, like, people still go on. Like, there's still cities and all this stuff. But, like, you scan to get anywhere, and if you have those eyes, it's harder. You have to prove that you have, I have this disease and all that stuff. And it follows 3, like, 20-some-year-old people, and it's, like, 20 years after the outbreak happened. And blogs are kind of the way everyone gets their news now, instead of like the actual news, because when like all this stuff happened, the actual news was like, oh, there's some disease, oh, it's no big deal, and then zombieism broke out, so everyone kind of just became like, what the heck, you guys don't tell us anything. And it follows the 3 characters, Georgia, her brother, and then their other friend. Each kind of do different parts of the news for their blog. Like Sean's the guy, her brother's the guy that goes out and like does all the crazy stuff, like antagonizing zombies and whatnot. Georgia does all the hard-hitting news, and then their friend does like this, like, I don't know, Twilight like fiction stuff. And they get hired, like their blog gets hired to follow one of the people running for president. And throughout this book, someone's sabotaging all this stuff. Like they're doing one thing, and somehow zombies get let in, even though it's like a safe zone. And so you got kind of this like political thing. You have like an intrigue of like who's sabotaging everything, and then in the background you just have, God, we want to stay alive because they're zombies. And so the other thing with this one is any mammal bigger than a dog could be infected. So horses, cows, deer, anything.
Interesting.
And so they don't like wildlife necessarily, but like the candidate they're following, his wife has like a horse ranch, and so they're super careful and stuff. But somehow something gets infected there, and like his family's attacked, and so I mean it's pretty crazy. But it's a really good book. It's really slow zombies. They're not super run all out, you know. But yeah, that's mine. Feed.
That actually sounds really good. You can get it on Google Play right now for $7.59.
Nice.
I have added it to my wish list, so I remember to get it.
Nice. Well, I had nothing until about 3 days ago when I was able to get World War Z from the library. And that's a apocalyptic novel by Max Brooks. And it's basically it's basically narrated by this guy who worked for the United Nations Post-War Commission. So it's just like a bunch of individual accounts assembled to talk about the zombie apocalypse as it happened through different people's eyes, through people in Palestine, Israel, South Africa, the United States. And first part of the book starts with, you know, how people talk. They could see it coming if they would have paid attention, but it really snuck up on them, even though it was in plain sight, kind of a thing. And it's just basically the title says it perfectly. It's an oral history of the zombie war, and the way he puts it all together with these accounts, talking to a person from the CIA and all this other. You read that and you're like, man, I could actually kind of see this happening this way if it actually really did happen. I need to finish the book, so I'll admit that, because I'm a slow reader. So 3 days is not enough for me to go through that many pages. Not even close. But it's been one of those reads where when I do read it, it's like, damn, it's time to go to bed, but I want to keep going. It's been that good.
It is a great book. Max Brooks is the son of Mel Brooks, like from Spaceballs and all that stuff.
Nice.
It's a great book. Yeah, I really liked it because, like you said, it's different accounts of how all these people survived the zombie invasion. They all kind of do it a different way. So
yeah,
it was really good.
Okay, I've added that one to my list too. But that one is actually available on Audible.com, and
There you go.
I wish they were a sponsor of this because that website is really pretty cool.
So how does it compare to the book? Or to the movie, I mean.
Hold on, we'll get to it in a sec.
What? Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
okay.
I suppose if somebody picked World War Z for the movie, that's fine. But if nobody, okay, never mind.
It's on my list too.
Spoilers.
Probably not where we want it to be.
Probably not.
But I'll go into my favorite in the. Of course, I'm the comic book geek here, so I'm going straight to the comic books, and I'm gonna go with the very cliche answer of The Walking Dead. This comic book by Robert Kirkman is it's amazing. It touches some topics that really couldn't be reached at or talked about in this medium, or really in any medium, without putting zombies involved. You get into the whole cannibalism and because
as he strokes his beard.
Yeah, who would you rather want to eat, or who would you rather eat when all you can find is either zombies or people? You know what? You get into the aspect of, well, somehow you're going to have to recreate people, you know, so you're going to have to procreate, and so does that mean you're going to need to start killing off gay people because they don't procreate? You know, they get into some topics that are actually really pretty interesting. And how do you lead when there's a vacuum of leadership who steps up and leads, and how are you going to do that? What kind of leader are you going to be, and how does that, how is that going to affect how the world is shaped? This book is really good. It's been going on for a really long time. You're looking at, let me grab click a couple buttons here to pull up my history, and I believe we're at, come on, hurry up and load. Take that off, that's why. We're at issue 135. So you're looking at a book that comes out once a month. You're looking at over 10 years.
Wow, that's a good run.
Yeah, that this book's going on, and it's still going. I mean, it's still going strong too. Not only do they have this comic book, but it's gone into the TV show too, and I'm sure some people have picked it for, or I'm sure we'll talk about that when we get into the visual stuff. But yeah, The Walking Dead is definitely the tops of my reading material. How about you?
John, you got anything for this one?
What's that?
You got anything for this one? Do you read?
No, I don't really. Not much.
And you?
Funnies, stuff like that.
There's no zombie peanuts, huh?
I haven't. Watch out for that Woodstock. He's deadly, man. He can fly and eat brains. Actually, the only thing I had to throw out there was does Blackest Night count? All the undead superheroes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of something I thought was cool. That was sort of a twist on the genre that I really liked, that I've read lately. Outside of that, I haven't read too many of the other zombie books that are out there, but I really enjoyed that and read it recently versus when it came out.
Okay. So for least favorites, maybe more fun will agree this week instead of having conflicting like vampires last week. I said Marvel Zombies 2. I didn't get to read the first one, like the first series of zombies, and I had tons of people tell me it was super good. So then I tried reading the second one, and it was so bad. Like I couldn't stand it. It's like Spider-Man and like Luke Cage. Like their hunger just goes away, and so now they're like, wait, we feel bad for eating people, and we should make amends, and it's just so bad. Like all of them are sentient. Like hunger can just disappear. Like I was eating people yesterday, but today, I kind of feel bad about it. Like I don't know. It was just not good. I couldn't stand it.
You know, they really caught lightning in a bottle with the first Marvel Zombies. I think it caught people off guard with how good it actually was. But, yeah, they tried to recreate that in the second one, and it just failed miserably. So, yeah, we'll agree on that one. It's on my list as my least favorite zombie anything. That's worse than every zombie TV show I've seen, every zombie movie. This is worse than anything zombie. That was the worst.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. How about you guys? You guys got any worse to throw out on this one?
What was the Bond movie where they had zombies coming after him?
Actually,
like voodoo zombies, not undead zombies.
Yeah.
Is that Live and Let Die?
That might be with the voodoo shaman guy, and he's like.
And the 7-Up guy, crisp and clean, no caffeine. Right? That guy? That was pretty awful.
Yeah,
that
was
that's not a book, dude.
What's that?
That's not the book.
Oh, sorry, I jumped to movies.
You did. Unless
he really just hates print.
He does. I told you, he can't read.
Letters.
But if Kip doesn't have any worst one, we can jump to movies. Okay, let's head over to the movies. When I was looking at my favorite, I was trying to decide if I wanted to go with like the hardcore, like serious, like what is it, 48 Days Later or Night of the Living Dead type thing, or if I was trying to go all the way to campy with like Army of Darkness or whatever, and go the humor route. And I kind of split the middle. And I went with Zombieland, 2009 film starring Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson. It's got actual like drama in it, but it also has a lot of humor going on. What do you ask? Everyone goes kind of by where they're from, not by their name, because what shows you that kind of disenfranchised. And it starts you off with the rules. You got to go cardio, double tap, always check the stall. I don't know. I really like that movie. I think it's fun. It kind of still deals with like this is post-apocalyptic. Don't trust anyone because they steal their truck and their guns, but it doesn't go all the way to that like Walking Dead did with eating people. It doesn't go that far into it. But I don't know. I love that movie. I think it's really good.
That is a good one. I totally forgot about that when I was trying to make up my list. But I went the humor route, and I put Shaun of the Dead.
Nice.
I almost put that one.
I'm a big fan of Nick Frost, and their whole thing there. Man, my brain isn't working today. I'm going to blame my migraine on my ability not to talk tonight. But anyway, Shaun of the Dead, we saw it in the theater just on a whim, and it was one of those movies where it's like there's that one scene where they all act like zombies so they could walk through the zombie horde undetected. And I'm like, yeah, every time I watch a zombie movie, I think, why don't people try this? So it was great that it was in there. And I just like the humor of the whole thing, and I don't know. I'm not a huge zombie person. I don't like the genre that much, but I did like Shaun of the Dead. I thought it was great.
My favorite scene in there is where the one in the backyard is walking towards them. They keep whipping stuff at her until she goes down.
Oh well, yeah, when they're going through the records,
right?
It's like no, not that one. I want to keep the
right.
They pull out another record. It's like, oh yeah, throw that one.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Next.
I also went with the campiness, and I went with the classic Army of Darkness. Bruce Campbell is my hero. I like that movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it still kind of sticks with you. I thought about going with The Walking Dead here because the first season was really good, but after the second season that sucked so bad, I turned it off and quit watching it. So I don't know.
It got better.
That's what people keep telling me, and I might pick it back up and watch the third season and get caught up with it, but I like the comic book so much, it made it really hard to watch the TV show. So I had to stick with Army of Darkness on this one.
Nice.
Can't go wrong there.
I think all those are great picks. I guess if I had to narrow it down, I probably would have gone with Shaun of the Dead. I don't really know any ones that you guys didn't mention that I really enjoy. So, yeah.
What about the original, the black and white, The Night of the Living Dead? Nobody brought that one up. Did anybody else watch that, or am I just the old guy here?
I've seen it.
No, Kip, you're the old guy here.
John's pretty old.
Yes.
He couldn't read the TV guide to see when it was on.
Both of them are on.
So,
I don't know. I think it has something to do with the name John. It just goes with old guys.
Maybe.
You're not going to enjoy the next time I see you. I promise.
Morph, do you want to bust World War Z first, or do you want me to?
Go for it. We'll just be right in line. We seem to be on.
My worst is World War Z, and I almost put World War Z as my favorite book because it's really good, and as much as I love that book, I hate this movie. Like, the only thing it shares in common with the book is the name. Literally, that. Like he said, the book. So the book, it's a journalist, going out after the fact and kind of getting all the retellings of how people survived and what happened and getting a full account for history, right? In the movie, is this guy working for the UN who goes out and is trying to solve how to cure it. So it's during instead of after. The zombies in the book are shamblers. Like, people are able to run through them, right? The one kid says run around, could as long as you're out in the open, you're good. In the movies, they're like super fast and just run like nothing.
Yeah.
But not even just the fact that they're so different. So what's the main way to kill a zombie, guys?
Shoot in the head.
Shoot in the head. These things launch themselves at car windows with their heads.
Yeah.
With
Well,
enough force to go through the window, but not damage the brain.
Yeah.
That's not okay. And then through the whole movie, he's figured out that you turn in 12 seconds. Like he right away goes 1, 2, and like counts how long it takes a guy to turn. Like before he even realizes it's zombieism, he like looks back and sees this guy on the ground. And he instantly starts counting until he flips over and starts moving. Like, first of all, why would you think of that? But whatever. So then later on in the movie, they're on a plane, and some guy has turned in the bathroom. In every other part of this movie, these things have gone through windows, through doors, through anything to get at people to eat. The thing in the bathroom only comes out when the stewardess opens the door. And the flight was more than 12 seconds. At some point, the thing would have came out and tried to kill them before they were ready to land. How many hundreds of thousands of miles away? So, and then the final solution, let's inject ourselves with something deadly so they can't see us. Because that's how they don't want to infect something that's already dying. Because they treat it like a virus, like something that's trying to live, instead of something that turns people into things that devour people. Like, these zombies bite you, and then they're like, oh, you're infected, I'm done biting you. Whereas every other zombie is, I'll keep eating you if I can. You know? Oh, man. It's just, I don't like it so much.
It's really bad. There's really no redeeming qualities of the whole thing. I mean, there's one scene where Brad Pitt, it's towards the end where he's going to get the deadly virus to inject himself with it, and he gets inside the like containment, the quarantine room, and he's, you know, so it's a glass wall, the zombie can see him, and the zombie's just kind of like shambling right next to the door, and just kind of like looks in right at him and does this, and I'm like
a bird.
Yeah, like what is this?
And we've
every other scene, you're just running right into this wall trying to get at this person, and in this point, you're just gonna sit there and watch him. Really?
They've
just
already
because it's Brad Pitt?
Tons of safety glass to get to people. Like, just bang their heads until the thing cracks. And you're right, this guy sits there and goes, like, I'm gonna wait for you.
We watched this with some friends on a big screen TV with Dolby surround sound, and the chomping of those teeth just made us all we just all started laughing. I mean, that's not the point where you're supposed to be laughing at the movie. This is the climax. This is supposed to be suspenseful, and we all just started laughing. I mean, that's how pathetic this movie was.
I think the other thing is, like, everyone else in this movie is, like, super easy to kill. Like, they just die left and right. This guy survives a plane crash and metal going into his abdomen and then walks, I don't know how many miles, to the World Health Organization. Like, he's impossible to kill. So, I don't know. Everyone else on the flight died, by the way.
Yeah, it's just bad.
Because he threw a grenade with the back part of the plane.
It's all bad. There's nothing good about that movie. Don't go see that movie. Nobody watch that movie.
Read the book.
A friend of mine who kept touting the book went and saw the movie, and it's like, well, how was it? And it was like a 5-minute F-bomb tirade about how the movie shouldn't have been called World War Z. It's like, okay.
No.
Enough said.
Anyone else have any negative least favorite movies or TV shows now that we've destroyed World War Z?
I have one it's in the gray area. It's called Serpent and the Rainbow.
Oh, I've seen that.
From 1988, Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very well, not very young, but I was way younger than I am now when I went and saw that movie. And it was touted as this zombie movie, and wow, was it not a zombie movie? In fact, I think I'm supposed to be high while I watched this movie. I'm not sure. I was completely sober, and I think that's the mistake I made. But basically, Bill Pullman plays this anthropologist who hears about Haitian black magic that's turning people into zombies, so he goes down there to find out. And then when he gets there, the whole movie just takes this weird trip. I don't know what the hell you even call it. And after a while, you realize there's not going to be a damn zombie in this movie. What the hell's going on? At least show me some boobs or something, but no, not even that. So
just zombie.
Just no zombie movie. So Serpent in the Rainbow.
Nice. I hate to ask John.
Actually, Kip's worst made me think of one I actually remember enjoying a lot. Going back again, like 87, 88. Anybody see Night of the Comet?
Yes.
Right? And I remember as like a 17 or 18-year-old kid thinking it was awesome, mainly because I think like the city ended up being deserted, but there were these zombies and they got to, I don't know, I'd drive around and like steal Ferraris or something and drive around in them, and then it was going really great until the zombies appeared, in which point it went downhill. But I think the movie was pretty bad too. That's about all I remember from it. But for a worst one, I want to go with that one where there's that, he's a teenager and he goes, I killed them all, the women, the children. I think it was called Attack of the Clones or something like that. Or was it just the actors that were zombies? Sorry.
I couldn't tell if they were zombies or cardboard cutouts. I wasn't
sure. They could have been cardboard cutout zombies. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait a sec. Could we also go with? Has anyone seen the movie Warm Bodies?
I actually like that movie for some reason.
Movie. I thought it was funny.
Well, yeah. Again, another movie that's supposed to be a zombie movie that has really is not anywhere close to a zombie movie.
Right.
It's Romeo and Juliet of the undead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
And the title is disappointing at 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way.
He's searching Cinemax. Woo! Oh.
Wait a second.
By the way, Romeo and Juliet is just the beginning of a zombie movie. Because by the end of it, they're all dead. They just got to be turned to undead at the next scene. That just got cut.
There you go. But I have to give you kudos for bringing Star Wars into a zombie. That's brilliant.
So our last category, which I've been avoiding because I'm getting so much crap for this, is video and board games. So here's the deal. I don't play a lot of zombie games. It's just not my genre to play in. So I looked through every zombie game I've played, which is all of like 3. And my favorite's going to have to be Zombie Dice. Yep. Totally on theme. It's totally Farco with zombie theme.
I was gonna say that's a Steve Jackson game, isn't it?
It is. It
does really well for him.
It's just a press your luck game. You're trying to roll brains and not get shot, but honestly, I don't play zombie games, so take it for what it's worth. It works with kids. There it is.
All right. Well, we have that. So,
I swear,
by
what you can tell, those games.
So Kip, our real board game expert, what do you have?
Ouch.
Oh.
Well, as you can tell, Last Night on Earth. And it's basically what I call a semi-cooperative game. depending on how many players are in the game, you either have one or two of the players playing the zombies, and everybody else is the people trying to escape. And the board is a little bit of a random mix. You got different setups that you can do with the cards, and or the cardboard. And then there's different scenarios that you can pick from. You know, like one of them is you got to find keys, gas, get to the truck, and drive away. And you got to fight and run from the zombies. The zombies can only move one space at a time. You can move more, but it just like a zombie apocalypse would be, their strength is in numbers. And it's just a fun little game. If you get the wrong person playing the zombies, though, you don't stand a chance. And my one friend Brad, who's smarter than everybody put together, you don't want him playing the zombies. You just don't stand a chance. So that's my game, Last Night on Earth.
I do not play a whole lot of board games, except for when I hang out with Kip. I don't own a whole lot, and I don't have a whole lot of friends that play board games. But what I do play is a lot of video games. And so I actually have two on here. I went one as my classic all-time favorite, and one that people who probably actually played can actually go find this game. My all-time favorite is Zombie Ate My Neighbors. This was a Nintendo or an original NES game. This game was hilarious. It was kind of it was one of those first kind of like, not an arcade shooter's not the right way, like a third-person shooter. You're looking down at the like map kind of thing, and you're walking around trying to shoot the zombies that have gone and taken over, and you're trying to eliminate all of them. I mean, what else is there? Just go around shooting zombies. It's a lot of fun. My other game that people should actually go try to check out is The Walking Dead by Telltale Games.
It's just your whole list tonight, isn't it?
It really is. I kind of felt bad about that because it really shouldn't be the tops of everything. But this game, it's less about The Walking Dead from its source material and more about the way Telltale tells the story within the game. It makes you care about these characters you're playing as. It makes you make decisions on whether or not you're going to leave somebody to get eaten to save yourself or try to save them and risk losing a lot more people in your group. It's really well done. It's a fun episodic game, and Telltale does it right there. You don't have to know anything about the Walking Dead world to really get into this game. It doesn't. You don't have any of the same characters from the TV show or the comic book. It's really a standalone thing, all on its own. So I recommend people going to check that one out.
Cool. All right. For me, I think I'm going to go video game, which is odd. But the first time those dogs leapt out of the window in Resident Evil, those zombie dogs, the zombie Dobermans in the first Resident Evil, it damn near crapped my pants right there. I was like, "Ah!" And that was the first time I'd ever had that sort of feeling in a movie or in a video game. Like a video game actually scared me. And I thought that was pretty amazing. All around, it was just a great game. And I know it's dated now, but at the time it was unbelievable. I actually want to mention a second. And the interesting thing about this one is it's not only on my favorite list, it's on my least favorite list. Bill, do you know which one it is?
I sure do.
So a while back, we decided at Prolific that we should develop our own zombie game. And we developed this amazing stick-it-to-your-neighbor, fast-paced, kind of cool zombie game, but it wasn't quite right. And like the first couple, there were a couple of times we played it. No, initially it was, but the problem was when you died, you became a zombie and you got to put yourself on somebody else's pile of zombies, which usually led to this like cascade of everybody dying just right in a row, because as soon as you died, you piled on extra zombies on them, and then they died and piled on the next guy. And it sort of waterfalled out of control. But it was really cool up until that last moment, and it was a pretty quick game. So then we changed that, and we did a bunch of other stuff, and it was still kind of cool, but it kept taking longer, or it wasn't good, and it was, yeah, it just ended up dying in development, and it became my least favorite game ever because we couldn't quite make it work.
And no
So
one
I hated it at the same time. But it was cool.
They tested a quick zombie game that lasted an hour and a half.
And you could kill all the zombies, but you didn't feel threatened, or you couldn't kill all the zombies and they killed you right away. It was finding the balance on it was just frustrating. But so by the end, I hated it. But when we started, it was really cool.
I will say though, one of the weapons in the game was the station wagon.
Yeah.
Drive and plow a bunch of things. So
That's awesome.
I thought that was cool. I thought maybe he also mentioned Zombie Run, which we both use, which is an iPhone app where you when you go running, you turn it on and it plays your music, but then these guys break in. They're part of this colony that you're a part of, that they do a radio station thing and they talk to you, or they'll send you out on runs. They'll be like, you need to go to the hospital and get this. And so you're running. And I don't know, John, if you have your zombies turned on, if you have them enabled. I do. And if you're running and you're not running fast enough, you start hearing, which means you have to speed up. And when you're tired, you're like, oh no, I don't want to get eaten.
It also does things where, like, you go on runs and you gain supplies and resources, and you build out your base, and you can build new equipment in your base and upgrade it and expand it and stuff. So it has a whole game aspect to it too. That's pretty cool. The cold, I gotta admit, I'm a wimp for Minnesota. Anytime it gets in the low 20s, I haven't been running a lot lately, so I haven't played it as much. As soon as it gets in the upper 20s with the wind chill, I'll be back out there, and that'll be a lot of fun.
So the interesting part about that is I'm a teacher, and I do all the subjects with my kid because it's like a school within a school thing. And our first thing is gym, and we rotate through the different gyms, including the weight room. And so when we're in the weight room, I just go on the treadmill, put that in, the kids do their workout stuff, and I'm running on there. And the other day I was doing it, and I was hitting the up on the speed. I'm like, up, 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 up. And one of the newer kids was like, why is he doing that? Because I could hear him off to my right, and the other kid goes, zombies. The other kid looks at him like, what are you talking about? And then he explained it to him. Because I let one of the kids try it one time, and he was like, that's really cool. So, yeah.
I don't know what's worse for you, Bill. The fact that the make-believe zombies in your head make you run faster, or the fact that you need that to run faster. I don't know.
I would not run without that app, just so you know.
Yeah.
I find running so incredibly boring.
I'm gonna have to try that out then, because I need to get back out and get in shape. I'm gonna look that up.
I ran a 5K, and about halfway through it, I was like, that's a nice house, as I'm slowing down. I like the porch. I wonder if I can... Oh, yeah, race. Not even there.
So what happens if you don't speed up? Do they eventually catch you?
I don't know. I don't want to find out. I've never waited for them.
So, and I'll say a neat little trick I discovered. If you click no music instead of your music or shuffle or whatever, you can then play a podcast and then start the app, and the podcast will keep playing, and you can listen to your podcast while running.
Oh, dang it. I just been listening to music.
I know, right? Now, every once in a while when they come in and do the story, it'll be over top of the podcast, but,
Yeah, that story a lot of times is, oh, no, Sector 5 is gone. So
Send somebody into Sector 5, yeah.
Right. So let's go with our least favorite. And I know I'm going to sound hypocritical because I chose Zombie Dice as my favorite, but Zombie Flux is my least favorite. I am not a Flux fan. Flux is the same game no matter what version you have of it. It's a matter of just drawing cards until you get the right thing that the right win condition that matches the stuff face down. Like, it's so bad. Like, so I like Zombie Dice because its simplicity is fine. It's just a quick game. You can play it instead of Farkle. It doesn't take as long. It's just press your luck. You can go around. You can get it done in like 10 minutes. It's great. It's great for its simplicity. Zombie Flux is bad in its complexity. Like, it's just, you get done with it, and you finally win, and you go, yay, meh. So.
I'm going to agree with you. I don't like the Flux games at all. So I haven't even tried Zombie Flux. It's like, what's the point?
You have. You've tried one of the Fluxes. It's all the same.
Yeah. Good point. Well, I almost was going to put Zombie Dice as my worst one.
Oh, no.
But I actually put all of the Call of Duty zombie things that they added to that video game.
No.
I hate those things. After a while, it's like, well, I could throw my controller at the TV or I could just turn it off. I don't know why it is. I just cannot stand it. So probably the last 3 releases, I haven't even turned on the zombie part of that thing. Just, I don't know, drives me up a tree for some reason.
Whichever one had the Nazi zombies, this was quite a while ago. That one I enjoyed, and I don't know.
That would probably be Return to Castle Wolfenstein. And that is actually on my list for the worst one because that's fucking awful.
There you go. Hey, I was not the first one to drop the F-bomb.
This game, well, and it could be there were times. Wolfenstein, for those of you that don't know, was one of the original on-rail shooters, much like Doom or Duke Nukem. And Return to Castle Wolfenstein was the sequel that took place, probably like 10 or 15 years after the original one was made. And they tried to recreate that same magic. It's very similar to what they did with the second Marvel Zombies. They tried to recreate the lightning in a bottle, and it was really bad. It kind of played out the same way as the first one, but then yes, zombies were introduced into the game, and it was, I don't know. I have no problem shooting Nazis. I have no problem with those games at all, but for some reason, shooting the Nazi zombies is just like I'm done. I just turned it off. Like it's like overkill, I guess. I don't know.
Kind of the what's worse than a Nazi? Well, Nazi zombies sound good.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that one was on my least favorite.
Oh.
Sorry, John.
No. I was actually talking about Call of Duty. There's a Call of Duty where you.
Oh, okay.
Where you're shooting Nazi zombies. I had a blast. I never played Castle Wolfenstein 2. I did like the original back when it came out, but yeah.
I think the game you might be thinking of is this one.
Yeah, it's the one I was thinking it was.
Call of Duty World at War. I believe that one is Nazi zombies in it.
Probably.
It's always nice when I have my collection of games sitting right above my computer.
Yeah, but behind you, is that the bed you have to sleep when your wife is mad at you?
Yes, right over there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a nice chase lounge. It works really good when you want to fall asleep.
Well, I stayed
When
up
you're not allowed upstairs.
games. I'm sorry, I got engrossed, but no, he's just sleeping on a little bed behind him.
Yeah. You know, and I know that we've kind of gone through all 3 of our categories, and I wanted to throw an honorable mention out there for anyone who's actually looking for some newer material that are zombies, and I wanted to throw out this comic book called Afterlife with Archie. Has anyone actually read this? Have any of you guys heard of this?
Are these like the future story or the alternate stories of Archie comics?
Yeah, it's got the Archie guys in it. It's really well done. It's the art is probably the best part of it because it's by Francisco Francavilla, and his art is just fabulous. I mean, it is incredible. He is an incredible artist, and the story for this thing is actually really pretty good. I've only gotten through a few of it. I haven't gotten through the whole series yet. Well, apparently it's still going on. They're on volume 2 now, but it's really good. And if somebody likes that, you like the zombie world, check this out. It's lighthearted. It's a lot of fun, and it's got the Archie characters in it. So who doesn't know, Betty and Veronica, right?
Okay, so they have an Archie zombie thing. I'm gonna revisit this zombie Snoopy stuff then. John, like, it's got to start with like Charlie Brown running at the football. She pulls it away and he just bites her head. Like that's it. Zombie apocalypse starts.
Apparently,
Charlie Brown has to be the last one to go. His days always got to get worse and worse and worse.
Well,
He can't be the
it's gotta be
first
like,
one.
good grief.
It's got to be Pigpen because no one would notice.
yeah. Well,
Until he was gnawing on their arm.
there is a
On a
zombie
cloud.
movie on Pinterest. I just did a Google search for zombie Snoopy, and unfortunately, there doesn't look like there's a whole lot of official stuff, a lot of parody stuff out there. So
There's
It's
no
the new game by Prolific.
There's no official stuff. Charles Schultz pretty much said no one's redoing my stuff. It's done. So
I was gonna say that would make it the best zombie stuff if a zombie Charles Schultz came back to life.
Nice.
Because he's the only one who's gonna get to.
Anyone else have any zombie stuff to add?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, then since we're done picking our brains about this, I get it, brains. No. Okay. We can
nice.
talk about our topic for episode 3. We're looking at sword and sorcery fantasy. So that's right, mages and warriors, magic and steel, D&D coming to life. My 13-year-old me is excited that the weekend D&D sessions will be useful for something other than driving ladies away from me. So, next time on Geekfecta.